What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you all another pod chat. I'm going to be sharing with you all basically how much I make on Anchor as a small podcaster. Now, for those of you all who don't know, I have been podcasting for about 2 years now, and if you're interested in checking out what I talk about in my podcast, definitely check out the podcast playlist here on YouTube or search on any streaming platform, Not Your Average Culture Podcast. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all how much I've made with being on Anchor for about 2 years. Now, I don't know about you all, but for me, I really enjoy watching these videos here on YouTube where YouTubers go through and they give you the breakdown and the behind the scenes of what goes into YouTubing and how much they make here on the platform. So I figured you all wanted to be nosy too. No, I'm kidding. But what I hope to do here with my pod chats is to give you all the breakdown and the behind the scenes of what goes into podcasting. Before I jump into the details of sharing with you all how much I have made on the platform, with me having a very small audience, as well as doing very little to no marketing for my podcast, I want to share with you all some additional things to keep in mind when I share this with you all. Now, I started podcasting about 2 years ago. I kicked it off September 2018. It was just something that was like a passion project, something that I was super curious about and something that I wanted to do, to talk about these particular things. If you're interested in the nitty gritty as to why I chose the type of topics that I discuss on my podcast, maybe I'll do it in a later YouTube video, but I do have a little bit of a background story of what inspired me to jump into podcasting. I'll share the link to the Medium article that I wrote on what inspired me to get into podcasting. Now, a few of the things that I want to share with you all to keep in mind is I started this as a passion project, and I didn't receive my first sponsorship until about 2 months of being on the platform. And I think when I did join the platform, Anchor was still very new at the time, and I think this is something that they are doing for everyone who joins now. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're a podcaster and you use Anchor as your hosting platform, definitely let me know in the comment section below. But for someone who regularly checks out other podcasts as well as produce my own, I've noticed a lot of people sharing a similar script that Anchor provides you when they give you a sponsorship. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is when you receive your sponsorship on Anchor, they'll send you an email saying, hey, you have a sponsorship opportunity from this particular company. And also when you go on the money tab on the back end side of Anchor, it'll list out all the different sponsorships that you have available. It'll tell you the CPM, and that's basically how much you make per listen. And it also gives you the analytics. It'll go through and it'll show you the breakdown of how many people are listening to your episodes, where they're located, if they're male or female. And I will say, since podcasting in 2018 to 2020, some things have changed, but for the most part, it took me about 2 months to get sponsored, and the first sponsor was Anchor. And I think Anchor provides everybody on the platform with sponsorship as a way to kind of raise brand awareness, to kind of encourage more podcasters to use their platform, and also a little way to give podcasters a little incentive or push or a little bit of encouragement to keep podcasting, is to kind of entice them with giving you your first sponsorship. Now, since then, I will say I've had about 3 other sponsorships on Anchor. Currently, right now, I have a sponsorship on there because it's around election time, and I actually don't get paid for that one. It's more so just something to encourage people to make sure that you're registered to vote. Quick little soapbox moment. Make sure you all, if you haven't done so already, make sure you are registered to vote, to make sure that your voice gets heard this upcoming election season. nobody told me to say that. This is just something that's super important, and I had to step on my soapbox real quick to encourage you all to make sure that you are registered to vote. Okay, done with the tangent. But back to the money, the moolah. So, since Anchor has sponsored me, there were a few other companies that provided me with sponsorship opportunity, and I will say, not all the time do I participate in the types of sponsorships that they provide me. I will read through the script because yes, Anchor gives you a script. They give you a few talking points that the company would like you to talk about or speak to. And of course, you can put your own personal touch on it. You can put your own little razzle dazzle on there. Put your own little thing at the beginning and thing at the end, or in between, however you want to do it. But they do give you a script, so that way you can make sure that you are speaking to what they want you to promote in the ad that they give you. Another thing that I have learned since being on the platform for 2 years is the more consistent you are with putting out episodes back to back to back, the more likely you are to get sponsorship opportunities. I will say that there was 1 month where I was super consistent with basically putting my episodes out on a weekly basis. And during that month, I had Anchor reach out to me and say, hey, we have these few people that want to sponsor you. And when I got those emails, I was like super happy, super juiced, because I was like, I didn't even have to work too hard for this. I wasn't actively looking for it. It kind of just like came. They found the opportunity for me. And so I would check it out and see if there would be something that I'm interested in. A few times I was, a few times I wasn't. That's my experience of what has happened. So here is what you all have probably been waiting on. This is how much I have made after 2 years of being a small podcaster on Anchor. So here it is. This is how much I have made. And for me, this is a win in my book, especially considering this was something that initially was a hobby. And so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what can come from this if I actually put effort into looking for sponsorship. As I mentioned when I started my podcast, this was something that was fun, a passion project. But now that I have been doing it for about 2 years, I'm thinking about really expanding this podcast thing and growing it and seeing what I can do with it. One of the things that I am doing to make a step towards this goal is I am a part of Erin on Demand, her e-brand club. It is a Facebook group where a bunch of different creatives, small business owners, or people that are in the marketing field or branding field, you can come together in her Facebook group and talk about the different things that you're working on, get a little tips and tricks, attend some of the master classes. And I really enjoy the master classes that she has in her e-brand club. Oftentimes she has a few people come on who are podcasters themselves, and they give their little tea and tips and tricks and behind the scenes of things that has helped them. And so something I figured that I might as well do here on my channel is give you all the tea as well, give you all the behind the scenes of what goes into it and a few things that have worked out for me and my experience. And then you all can let me know if any of the things that I'm sharing with you all is helpful for you and if you're trying them out. And if there's something specific or in particular that you would like me to share, definitely let me know in the comments section below. As I mentioned, these mini pod chats is something that I am new and trying out here on my channel. So if it's something that you want me to share with you or talk more about, let me know in the comment section below. At the beginning of this experience, I will say the quality of my podcast is not nearly of what it is now. I was doing all of the editing on my own, and also I was freelancing, so I really didn't have that much of a time commitment to give to it, but I knew it was something that I really wanted to do. And so I knew that done was better than perfect, and so I just started with what I had. And I will say, even though the quality wasn't super top tier, I still was able to get a sponsorship opportunity. So for those of you who are thinking like, oh, in order for me to get a sponsorship opportunity, it has to be this high definition thing. Yeah, that may be the case, and it's super great for you to have that goal and aspiration for yourself. But I will also say, if you don't have the money as you're starting off to invest in a high quality microphone, don't beat yourself up about it. There are still some sponsorship opportunities where they will provide you an opportunity to put an ad on your podcast despite the quality of your show. But something I do want to encourage is really focus on the type of content that you are putting out there. That's also another thing. They see that you do have an audience of some form. Definitely content is something that you want to focus on, and making sure that it's good content that you're putting out. It may not be the best quality, it may not sound the most high def, but if you have some good content and you have some listeners, you definitely have a chance of getting some sponsorship opportunities. But yeah, that's all I want to share with you all today. Thank you for joining me in this pod chat, and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to check out some of my other videos, and before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.